Welcome. What's good? Wednesday, November 22nd, week 47, vlog 47. Welcome. What's good? Hey, thank you for the response on the lyric breakdown. Yeah, that was a random bit of content, and it seemed to be received well, I think. I'm not sure. Like, the view count is beat the song and the vlog from last week, so I think that's good. But at the same time, I feel like I can't really base much on that because it was something different, something new. So there's the chance the extra clicks were just generated because people thought, "What's this?" But a few people commented, not online, in person, in messages, that they enjoyed it, that they liked the content, so that's good, I guess. If there are any other songs you'd like breaking down, I don't know which ones would be appealing to you. If I had to do one, I would do Zebra, because I think that's probably interesting in a way. It's got a story behind it, but all the songs do. Like, all the songs have got a purpose for them, so if there's any one of them that you're curious about or that you think is a mess, let me know and I'll break it down. It might be a case that you pick a song and I literally go, yeah, I rushed it. We needed a song, so I pushed it, and it all has meaning, it all has purpose, but some of it's not as in the weekly project. Maybe some of the songs are not as well thought out as the others, and you might be surprised in which ones those are, actually, because some of the ones that are really well thought out kind of fell on deaf ears. So yeah, it's hit and miss. If you want to break down, if there's any one of the songs you're interested in, let me know and I'll do a breakdown and I'll upload it on a Sunday, if it's this year, or maybe in the new year I'll change the upload dates because we won't be doing the weekly project anymore. I've only got 4 more songs to write. We've only got 6 more songs to drop. So yeah, getting on that. The year is nearly done. Let's go. And when the year is done, don't know what's happening at all. I spoke to a friend this morning and just had a little glimmer of hope. There's a project he's talking about, and I'm like, well, that sounds exciting. I don't know if I have any involvement in it. I don't know if I could have any involvement in it, but it's something exciting that would mean I would get to stick around in England for a bit more. But the bottom line is I just feel so mugged off. I mean, oh man, I don't even watch the news, but it's a joke, right? I mean, the government don't even hide it anymore. It's just so obvious. It's just like everyone knows how corrupt it is. Everyone knows how broken the whole system is, and we can't do anything about it. Just get on with it and live under the rules that they make. And it's driving me crazy. I think that's it. I think, like, it's probably what got me leaving before. I left before just because it was like I was making music, but it wasn't sustainable. I couldn't make a sustainable income off it. I didn't know where to go. I started getting depressed, and I was like, I need to explore, see some more of the world. But now I've seen some more of the world. I've lived in a different place for 7 years, and I've traveled through a lot of different places and met a lot of people. And I'm kind of like, well, I don't really need to go now. I'd be happy to stay here. But again, like, if I can't buy a house and I can only rent, then it makes sense to go somewhere where it's cheaper to rent, where it's cheaper to live, and I can still have a bit of an adventure and meet some new people and learn some new things and experience something different. Because if I stay here, I kind of know what it is already. And to stay here means sustaining myself with a job that is not as enjoyable, with like a standard of living that is not as good when I'm working that job. I mean, if the time is available, if I find a way that I can sustain myself and still have enough time to work on the music, then it's not bad staying here. But I'm kind of halfway out the door because, I don't know, the way everything fails, the way everything like falls apart on me, I don't have much faith that I'm going to manage to stay in England this time. And so I'm weighing up, I'm looking at 2 different places. I'm really swaying towards 2 different places. Europe is not one of them, unfortunately, mainly because of Brexit. I think before Brexit, it would have been really nice to just go into Europe. I would have probably just drove into Europe, booked a few nights in a hotel, gone and seen some friends and tried to find a job, and gone through different countries and tried to find where I like and set something up there. But with Brexit, it just makes it so much more stressful. And Europe is not a cheap place anymore. I think when I was a kid, Europe was somewhere that you could, everything was a bit cheaper. Now it's not so much. So it's not really ideal to go drifting, which is a shame. The two places I'm looking at, one is Taiwan. Now Taiwan is, if you don't know, it is and isn't China. You know, it's kind of, it is China by landmass. You know, technically they speak the same language, but they're not the same. Like, Taiwan has kind of independence, and therefore the internet's not restricted. So that's one thing. If I'm in Taiwan, I can use the internet still. I don't lose YouTube and Google again, and all the socials that everyone uses. They speak Chinese, they speak the same language that I've learned, they speak Mandarin. The writing's a little bit different because they use the traditional characters, so they still use they use the more difficult characters. I learned the simplified characters, the standard Mandarin that's used throughout China. Pretty much throughout China. But in Taiwan they speak the same language, but the reading and writing is different, so I'd have to, you know, freshen up on that. But it's not a bad thing actually, because the Taiwan has more exports than China as well, I think, when it comes to artistic exports anyway. There's more music or games or stuff that come out of there, and so the traditional Chinese, I think, is used more often on subtitles, for example. So it will be helpful if I go out there. I'll keep developing my language. There's pros and cons again. Like, I mean, there's comfort to it because I can speak the language and I could settle in a bit easier. At the same time though, because the relationship between Taiwan and China is not good, it means it would be really difficult for any of my friends from China to visit me in Taiwan, and it would be really difficult for me to fly from Taiwan into China, I think. So yeah, that's a shame. I don't know about that. The other option I'm thinking is Vietnam. Because I like Vietnam. I always liked Vietnam. I was planning to go to Vietnam before I went to China. I didn't, and I traveled through there and I really liked it. And I think it's a good location still. Like the same as Taiwan, it's in that part of the world where if you've got a holiday, there's lots of places around that you can fly to visit for a holiday. I don't get the language though. I'd have to learn the new language, start learning Vietnamese. I have friends in Vietnam, not as many as I have in China, but again, you don't lose the internet. That's it, and that's kind of, I'm basing a lot on that. Like, I think I'm staying away from China because I don't want to have to lose the internet again, and also because, you know, I've spent 7 years there. I feel like I should try somewhere new. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe Vietnam, maybe Taiwan. In an ideal world, something will happen and I'll be able to stay in England, but I don't know what that is. I have to keep making music and putting footage out though, because I realise this is the only thing that I really want to do. Like, if I go to these places, the job I'll be doing is very likely teaching English to kids, which is okay. I enjoy that. It's not the dream, but the dream is just this. The dream is music or videos or stories or something. The dream is using the skills that I've developed for me to make a living. But unfortunately, they're not as desirable in the places that could hire me. I mean, the teaching stuff's fine. I've got plenty of experience, and, you know, I've got the degree in the TEFL that I'm sure are international teaching jobs I should be fine with. There will be some schools that my requirements are not enough, but I'm sure that I have enough to get jobs in other countries as a teacher. So then it's just finding the right job that still gives me time to keep creating stuff, because I need to, at the end of the day, if I'm ever gonna have a standard of life that I enjoy, this is the bottom line. I need to find a way to monetize what I do here. But I'm so moral and so anxious about so many things, which is good and bad, I think, because that's why I can't just share the channel and plug it and do all the clickbaity stuff and, you know, play the game of playing the algorithms. I'm no good at it, and I can't do all that whole, yeah, like, share and subscribe, yeah, and I can't do all that because it feels dirty to me. It feels like if you're watching this, you're giving me your time. You're already giving me something. You're giving me my time, you're giving me your time, and hopefully in return I'm entertaining you, or I'm doing something interesting enough that is worth your time. But then, like, the idea that I could turn around and start asking for more from you, I don't feel right about that. I feel kind of dirty about it. And then also it's the thing, if I start asking for more from you, then you might start asking for more from me. It's like, well, you might subscribe, but only if I deliver this sort of content. And then it kind of traps me in what I'm making and what I'm putting out. I don't want that. So I think the only way to be smart about it is just to be me and do exactly what I want to do. And then hope that this can grow naturally, hope that what I do is worthy of a response, is worthy of whatever it takes for me to be able to monetize this. I hope so. Don't know what it is, but so that's forever the goal, basically. But I've realized if to have any kind of decent style of life, then yeah, I need to find a job that I can tolerate and enjoy, in a place where I can live comfortably and still have enough time to push on what I really want to do. So that's the thing. Talking about that, yeah, I went to the open mic last week. There was an open mic last Tuesday night. I recorded this vlog before I went. It was great. It was a lot of fun. A few friends came down. It was like a village pub open mic, so it was kind of like, if you've done open mics, you might get the crowd. It's just kind of a lot of people in their mid-40s, maybe older, and they just go and play some music and hang out and have a drink, and that's it. It was a quiet room. I felt bad because my friend came through. I thought it would just be in the bar, but it was in a back room, so when people were playing, everyone was like silent, which is good for me when I'm playing, but it's bad for me when I bring my friends and I want to socialise with them. It's weird. But it was a really nice gig, and after performing, I got offered another performance slot at the Iron Horse in Deeping, which I haven't confirmed yet, but I think I'll do it. I think I'll do it when they come back with dates. That'll be a half-hour set, so I can kind of develop a show as well and perform that, and then see if I can get offered an even bigger show, and then I can play that game. Just if I can perform, and every time I perform I get offered a bigger gig, then hopefully I can just keep climbing until I get the dream of whatever it is. The main stage at Glastonbury, maybe? Just a big stage. That was always the dream for me as a kid. It was like just being on stage in front of a mass crowd and being able to kind of do what I do in front of a ridiculous number of people was always the dream. So we'll see. But yeah, if nothing else, while I'm here, I can keep performing, and I can keep, when I perform, it reminds me, it's like, no, I worked really hard on this craft, and yeah, I know I am good at it. It just reminds me that I'm not an idiot, because sometimes I feel like I'm wasting my time. I'm just like, obviously I'm not good enough to be doing this, just give it up and take a job and live my life out being miserable. But there's a part of me that's like, no, I've worked really hard at this. Why can't I? Am I not good enough? I don't think I'm not good enough. I think I'm good enough. So yeah, keep pushing. And yeah, I suppose if I get into anything else, I'll run too long. I hope you're good. I hope I speak to you and see you soon. I hope you like the rest of the year in the songs we're going to put out and the content we're going to put out. And let me know if you want a breakdown of another song, because I'll do it for you. Alright, take care.